In this video, we're going to review how to use the vocabulary filter. The vocabulary filter is a tool that will allow you to hide certain buttons in order to teach the motor plan or where the buttons are located without the distraction of all the other buttons on the page. When using the vocabulary filter, you do not want to have this tool turned on at all times, as it limits the individual's ability to explore other buttons and say more than what you have hidden or available on the page. With that in mind, let's get started learning about the vocabulary filter. The vocabulary filter is located in the upper right-hand corner of the menu bar. It is this triangle-shaped funnel that is filtering words. You're going to click on the vocabulary filter in order to get into the settings. The vocabulary filter needs to be toggled on and off. It's located in the upper left-hand corner of the menu bar. When you toggle it on, you'll see that all of the buttons are grayed out. There's two different ways that you can turn on buttons in order to have them activated for the student. You can simply touch on a button if you know where the word is. So if I want to say, I want help, and I want to teach that motor plan or just have those words available for the student to help them focus on those buttons, I can click on the buttons and then select Done. And now you can see, other than the keyboard, word forms, and dashboard, which are buttons that are always available, you can now have access to just helping the student focus on the words I want
help.
help. If I want to activate more buttons, I simply click on the vocabulary filter in the upper right-hand corner, and I can add buttons to this. Maybe I want to say, I want help, and if it's lunchtime, help to open something. Since I'm not entirely sure where the word open is located in these pages, I can utilize the second way of adding buttons to the vocabulary filter. You'll notice that on the bottom, there is a bar. The words remove, add, and then a space to type in words is available. I'm simply going to type in the word open. And if I wanted to add maybe drink and eat to this, all I do is add a comma and then continue typing eat and drink. When I'm done typing my list of words, I'm going to select the button Add in the lower right corner. Now you can see the Actions button became available because it added those words to my filter. Let's test it out and see if it worked. Select Done in the upper right corner. And now I can go to my actions and I can see eat, drink, and under my change actions, open is now available. I'm going to want to work with the student and model these words several times, not requiring the student to touch the word, but giving them opportunities to see how they can be utilized. I may then start to utilize my prompting hierarchy in order to get the student more involved in activating those buttons. Once the student has that motor plan and is able to activate whatever button you're targeting, you can turn the vocabulary filter back off. In order to turn the vocabulary back off, you clicked on that filter and then toggle the words off. Select Done and see if the student can still find I want
help.
Or maybe under those actions, eat and drink on their own. They may need some help via the prompting hierarchy, but with those buttons all available, Eventually, with a few models again, can they still utilize those buttons with all of the vocabulary toggled on? The last feature of the vocabulary filter that I would like to show you is how to create lists. If we go back into our filter in the upper right corner, toggle the vocabulary filter back on, you'll notice on the right-hand side is a toolbar. I'm going to select the pencil with the list. And in here, you are initially on your My List. But if I click over on the left-hand side on the Manage Lists button, you're able to create multiple vocabulary lists. So the list we were working on may be a lunch list. I'm going to select New List on the right side, New Empty List. I'm going to call this list Lunch. Select Done and go to my lunch list. You'll see that I'm on my lunch list because it has a check mark on the right side. I'm going to select Done and Done again. Now I have the opportunity to add words to my lunch list. I can again go in and add them using the bar at the bottom by simply typing in I want, eat, and drink. Add those buttons. And when I go in here, I'll see on my Manage List page, I'm on my active list, lunch, and now all of the words are available in my list of words. One more way to add words is when we are on our Managed Lists page, you can see that I already have drink, eat, I, and want from when I added them on the bottom bar. Now that I'm on my list page, I can also add to my list by typing the words up on this bar right below the Manage List button. So I forgot to add the word open and help. I can type them in using a comma and then select add and they add them in. If I type in a word such as done and select add, you'll see that you get two different lists of words, ones that are not in the page set. So done is not located in the page set. And then the words, and it is in red. And then the words that are available are in alphabetical order listed in the color black. Since done isn't on there, I'm going to select finished. Add finished. And now you can see I have the word finished in my list. When I'm done adding words to my list, I can select done, and let's look for those words that we just added. It's going to select done, and now go to actions, change actions, and open is now available. If I go to my descriptors, descriptors A to Z, look under F, I will find finished. Alternatively, finished was pretty hard to get to with lots of page hits. I may want to program that button in an easier spot, or maybe I just want to say I'm going to need to stop eating lunch. I can go back into my vocab filter, add stop. If I go back to my editing list, you'll see that stop is now in my list of words that's been added. I'm going to select done, done, and now I have the word stop instead of finished in an easier location. One last thing to note, if you're going to switch between lists, you're going to go back to your manage list. A few lists that are already prepared in the motor planning page sets will give us an example of how to switch between the lists. You may want a math list, a morning meeting list, possibly a calendar list to help you teach those words. and then toggle between them so that they're already set up and ready to go within your daily routine. To switch between the lists, you're going to just select the list, hit done, done, and now the words that are available are on that list. Again, are active. Again, I can go back to my list button, manage list, and maybe I want to switch back to my lunch list because it's time for a snack. Now I'm on my lunch list. One more reminder that we do not want to filter words at all times. Please make sure you're giving your students opportunities to see all of the words on the page by toggling off and exploring the words in order to learn what they mean.